A pleasant good morning to everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. And yours truly, Carlos Brown. Today's guest, as always, will be the panel. They'll join us very shortly. Here's what's trending on today's Carlos Brown Show. Southern University baseball, they opened the 2026 season. Not on a good note, however. Southern University softball off to a good start. 2 games, 2 wins. Southern University basketball, women and men, they're in Texas, simply called the Texas Two-Step. And finally, we'll have our SWAC basketball report. We'll get into that in hour number 2 and a little bit in hour number 1. Now, as always, let's introduce the panel. Coach Pettaway up first. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. Good morning.
Willa Brown, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Willa, one quick question.
Yeah.
Tell me it's above 40 degrees in Baltimore.
No, it's 31 to be exact.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Willa, it's been 80 degrees all this week.
Hell.
Can you believe that?
I kill for 70.
Climate change and global warming is real. It's February,
Yes,
and it's
indeed.
80
It's real.
degrees in Baton Rouge. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
Good morning. Charles, are you okay? Do we need to lighten you up a little bit? You have a serious look on your face.
No, it's serious, but it's not. You remember last week I was at
Wait a minute, Charles, you're breaking up pretty bad. We'll get him back in. happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Coach Pello and Willa, before the show, I usually get that out of the way at least 2 or 3 times a year. And guess what? Sometimes I'm still in the doghouse.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try to be all right this weekend. Coach Fedaway,
Yes, sir.
last week, did you get a chance to see the Alabama A&M Southern women's basketball game?
Oh, of course. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Wow, Willa, he just looks so dapper and happy. I tell you what, Alabama A&M is on a 11-game winning streak.
Yes, they're playing real well right now.
They defeated Southern University 56-54. Now, when we get Charles back, Charles mentioned something about Coach Kilbert said it was some questionable calls, but you know what? I'm not going to get in and say that. Alabama A&M won. It was a tight game.
Right.
And you don't let it come down to calls, what have you. But Alabama A&M was playing really well.
Right. I think Coach Thornton has found a combination with her post players. They do great passing to each other. They do a lot of high-low. And, between Davenport and the rest of the post players, that's a good mix for her. And she's deep. She's one of the deepest teams in the league at the post position. And she normally plays two twin towers together. And she started that really after, believe it or not, the Mississippi Valley game. When she played Mississippi Valley the first game of the year, she was still experimenting. And now she's gone to it full time. And, man, they've been on a tear. In fact, they haven't lost since that Mississippi Valley game. So playing the bigs the way she does, I think that has been to her advantage. To be honest with you, that's the only way they beat Alcorn here. If she did not have the post players, they would not have beaten Alcorn. So her post really, when she goes inside, when they play inside out, they're tough to beat.
I'm kind of looking at some of the stats quickly. Alabama A&M shot 39% from the field, 39.6, 19 of 48. Southern shot 41.3%. Had 2 less shots, 19 of 46. From 3-point land behind the arc, they were 5 of 17. Alabama A&M, 29%. Southern was 7 of 18. Let's look at these free throws here. 13 of 52 for Alabama, 59%. Southern, 9 of 14, 64.3%. Rebounds, 31-27. Alabama A&M won the rebounding edge. And points to the paint, 24 for Alabama A&M, 22 for Southern. So it seemed to be very close.
Right. See, that game was going to come down who's going to make the least amount of mistakes. And down the stretch, Southern just had a crucial foul late in the game, and that sent Alabama A&M to the free throw line. That was just a battle, man. That was just a battle. That was a battle. But
evenly matched.
Yes. And I can't pull up for some reason. Everything here is going haywire. My stats won't even come up. But from what I can remember, down the stretch, you had a late in that game, both teams swapped baskets, and then both teams couldn't buy a basket. Then it comes down to the last possession. Alabama A&M has the basketball, and I think, and then they go in for the drive and they get fouled. They go to the free throw line and knock down 2 free throws.
And with that being said, Southern University on a 3-game losing streak. Yeah, right. You're talking about fans and pressure. I got a lot of email, texts. What's going on? 3-game losing streak. Just that quick. Memory of last year is gone. Coach Fedaway.
Well, memory of early in the season was gone because Southern was in first place for the longest. Battling with Alcorn and Alabama A&M. Well, Alabama A&M came into the picture late, but battling with Alcorn for first place in the on the women's side. So, you all got a short memory down there for some reason. It might have something to do with the water down there, Carlos.
I don't know, but then defeating Houston in defeating Arizona in non-conference, but they were able to snap that 3-game losing streak. They're in Texas. They defeated Texas Southern 66-54. They shot 40% from the field. They behind the arc, they shot 53.8%, 7 of 13, and then for the free throws, 11 of 22, 50%. So they got a game today against Prairie View A&M. I would say Southern should be favored to win that ball game. That's on the women's side. So they break a 3-game losing streak, but Alabama A&M, Charles, on 11-game winning streak. Alcorn was in Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I listened to both games. Boy, came away with losses. It's tough to win on the road. I continuously say that.
Yeah, that
and
Arkansas,
also, go ahead.
No, that Arkansas Pine Bluff game was very frustrating. We had a 19-point lead. Had a 19-point lead as well as we played in the first half, shot the ball well. We got it. We did not get it done in the second half. We took some quick shots. We did milk the clock with the lead because we do have those sets offensively. And you got to give UAPB a lot of credit. Knocked down some threes. We turned it over. We missed some chippies late. So you got to give UAPB credit. We were without one of our better players. Lauren Nelson was not part of that game. No excuse. There's enough to be able to finish that game. We got a 19-point lead the way the Lady Braves D up. There's no way we should have lost that game. But we did. And so that gave us a little bit of a ding, as far as the regular season is concerned, because A&M has the tiebreaker. They beat us head up the time we play. So, I mean, the regular season is not under our control, okay? But what is under our control is that number 2 seed, which means you get a double bye if you're that 2 seed. We have control over that. We have a 2-game lead over Southern and Alabama State. We beat both of those teams. Thank God we took on Alabama State early in the year because Alabama State all of a sudden is playing really well.
Yeah.
But as far as the Lady Braves are concerned, regular season title, hey, nothing you can do about it but win your games and let's see what happens. But we can't control that number 2 slot, and we'll see if we can continue to hang on to that.
Wheeler, we've seen throughout this conference play, no leads have been saved. It's not just only Alcorn. Southern almost lost on the men's side, had a big lead. They've done it several times. So it makes me think, and see if you guys agree. You have basketball background. Basketball is a lot of times is on runs.
It is.
And when you have a big lead, I'm always more worried because I know a run is coming from the other team, especially if you're competitive. But we've seen that throughout the conference play already. No big leads are safe.
Well, we used to always say it's easier to play when you're 20 down than when it is when you're 20 up. Because when you're 20 down, you can pretty much relax because you're in the mindset that we're supposed to lose this game. Let's just go ahead and let it all hang out, that sort of thing. And before you know it, you're back in the game. But when you're 20 up, you're trying to do everything you can to prevent that opposing team from coming back. And a lot of times you start to play a little nervous and, start to fumble the ball away, that sort of thing. And, but my thing is at this time of the year, if I'm not clearly in first place, that 2-3 slot going into the tournament ain't a bad place to be. You still, you got a good draw pretty much overall. And, maybe you don't get the double bye. If you do, it's okay. But if not, then you always want to go into that Thursday or that Friday having played a few games and got the kinks out and all that sort of thing and stuff. So if I'm not a clear number 1, if I can get into that 2-3 slot, I'm still feeling pretty good about where I am, and provided I'm playing well going into the tournament, and that's going to be the real key.
And Coach Pettaway.
Yes. See, go ahead.
If you kind of can predict, project a little bit, I could almost see Alcorn in number 2 spot on the women's side, and possibly Southern in that 3 slot. So they'll meet again.
Yep.
Go ahead, Coach Pettaway.
Yep. No. I agree with you, and I agree with what Wheeler was saying. about having a big lead. A lot of times as a coach, when you get a big lead, then you start trying to milk the clock, and you do things counter. You do things against what got you the lead. In other words, if I got the lead pushing the basketball, now I'm trying to run the clock. So I've slowed my team down, but trying to milk the clock, and then I throw our rhythm off. So you had to be very careful when you do get a lead. You want to continue doing the same things that got you that lead. You want to continue doing those things. And then as far as this race is concerned with the women, Carlos, I still think with all the games that are left to be played, the Southern is in third place right now. They're only 2 games out of second. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. They would need some help. But they could certainly get back to that number 2 seed. So it's
plenty of help out
yet.
there. There's plenty of help out there. There's no
right.
doubt. There's plenty of help.
Right, and then Alabama A&M, they only got a 1-game lead over Alcorn. So there's still a lot of games that have to be played. Nobody can relax. You just gotta you hold your own destiny. You just gotta keep winning.
Keep winning.
Well, on the point of the big leads, guys, we've seen the last couple of weeks teams have big leads and almost squander it. Southern had a big lead on Jackson. They have 21-point lead on Jackson and won it in overtime. Last week, Texas Southern Bethune led Texas Southern by 13.
Right.
No, Texas Southern led Bethune by 13. And Bethune came back and won it in overtime. And then, of course, the game Alcorn to UAPB. So, for us, we took quick shots and just, there's perfect storms of comebacks in basketball. Turnovers, made threes, 4-point play, and so there's a lot of things that go into a comeback when you're down 19, when you're down 13, when you're down 15. And sometimes those things come together. And for us, the wrong things came together, the right things for UAPB. But I think you're going to get that because the double bye is still in play. Alabama A&M, they still got to go to Florida. I mean, if you just want to look ahead to the schedule, they still got to go to Florida. There's only one team, I think, and just looking at the numbers, that have swept the Florida swing, and that was the Lady Braves. The Lady Braves, one of the reasons why that they are in a position for the number 1 seed, they went to Florida and got 2, which is very difficult to do, men on women. If I'm not mistaken, we're the only team to sweep the Florida swing. I looked at it this morning. So that's part of the reason why we're near where we are. But, going to Florida and getting 1 is difficult. Getting 2 is really, really difficult. So A&M still got some work to do. They've got Valley today, I believe, and I think Valley's going to be without some players. A bad incident with Alabama State. I haven't seen the video, but it was bad from what I was told. And so it's just, we'll just see how that works out.
Yeah, the right punishment went down. I don't have no tolerance for that. I know emotions run. This person started it. This team started it. Guess what? When I was growing up, kind of the same thing. 3 boys. Carlos, you didn't do anything, but guess what? You're getting punished with the rest of them. and that's how it goes.
Right. And I just heard about it this morning. My wife asked me about it. I didn't even know that anything took place on Thursday night, but she asked me what happened between Mississippi Valley and Alabama State. And I was like, well, baby, I don't know. That's new to me. But I think coming into here today, Charles, I think the A&M women, I was worried about the game on Thursday. I thought it was a trap game. I thought they would be looking ahead to the Valley game. And I even said that in the post game. And Coach Thornton said, no. She said, we were on top of that. We made sure that they were not looking ahead. We just wanted to take it 1 game at a time. And when Valley gets here, then Valley will be here. So I think our ladies have been, I think that's been on our calendar since Valley beat them at Valley. So in the back of their minds, those ladies, they're ready for this game. So Valley could come in here with a full roster. I just think that the Lady Bulldogs are going to be ready to play. So if they're coming in here with a short roster, I guarantee you, Dawn Thornton she will not spat a rod.
They're playing very, very well. Very well. Quickly on the men's side. Well, Southern University, 81-68 over Alabama A&M. I believe that was a Monday night game, Coach Pettaway. Was it? No, it was a Saturday night game. Which one? I'm confused with Saturday and Monday.
Yeah, that was a Saturday game.
81-68
right
over Alabama A&M. Southern shot 48% from the field, from behind the arc 35%. Free throws 16 of 21. I'll take that.
Yeah,
76% because finishing games has been tough for Southern University. Look, they've had injuries. They've getting people back. I've seen them, in the game plan, but no excuse. No excuse. No one's gonna feel sorry about you. Everybody gets injuries. Everybody's going through injuries, but they get it done. Then Alabama State Monday. I got it right now. Alabama State 69-68. I'm going to be transparent. I was watching the game and I got so frustrated. Southern jumped out quickly. Here's some more runs coming. Then in the second half, Alabama State passed them up. I'm getting sleepy. I'm getting frustrated. I turned the channel. Oh, well, I think Southern's lost this one. And then, boy, a shorty hit maybe a 30-footer, and they win the game. I sent you guys a text. This is I like these little bit of different notes. In the last 3 games that Alabama State and Southern has played, the winner has won by 1 point all 3 times. Southern Alabama State is kind of like Ken Norton and George Foreman. They have close games. Last year, they defeated Southern twice, each victory by 1 point. Can we say that Alabama State and Southern really they have a good chemistry, and it's going to always be a tough game? But the Jaguars get it done, 69-68. They only shot 38% from the field. Alabama State shot 41. Rebounds, they out-rebound Southern 43-34 because Southern's one of the top rebounding teams in the conference. And points in the paint, 32-18. Southern had the advantage in the paint. Whew. What a close one. If you had heart problems, you had to take your heart medicine.
Oh, yeah.
But Southern gets it done, Coach. What can you say about Southern Alabama State? Just always a barn burner.
Right. It was a great game. I got a chance to watch some of that game too, especially down the stretch. That was 2 teams just laid it on the line. 2 teams just laid it on the line. And in basketball, it's a game of runs. Each team's gonna have their run. You just got to be. You want to be the guy that has the last run. That's all that is. That's how that works. And these 2 teams, they match up so well. That's the reason why you've had such great games out of over the last 2 years.
Coach Pettaway, give me your thoughts now in real time about Jacobs for Southern University. Meaning, teams know he's the go-to guy. Have you seen this game kind of evolve a little bit? Remember, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, more of a facilitator, but he has everybody's eye. In some cases, 4 eyes on him.
Yeah, right, but see, I'm a little bit different because to me, he needs to score more. See, I would have him scoring more. They want him as a facilitator. No, I want that joker scoring the basketball more. I think you all are a better team when he scores.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you're a better team when he scores.
Well,
but I'm not in practice every day. So that's just me from the outside looking in. Coach Johnson is doing what he needs to do for that team to win. Let's put it that way.
I still need that consistent second score.
Yeah.
Now maybe the second score may have to be a joint venture,
right,
with several players. But the big guy in the middle, he has a nice mid-range jump shot. But I'm still looking for that consistent second score.
Right. You see, on that second score, it's got to be by committee. Whoever's going that night, that somebody has to step up. When you have a team like that, because see that when you look at the A&M women, that's what's happening with them. they got different people every night stepping up. It's not the same person. It's not the same person. So when you have a team where you can get other people to step up on different nights, it makes it hard to scout that team. It makes it hard to game plan when you got other people stepping up. When you just got one person doing it, it's easy to hone in on that one. At least you cut them away from the ball. You reduce their touches. See, if they don't have the basketball, they cannot score on you. They can't hurt you. So reduce the touches. That's the way I used to try to do it. If your leading scorer, when we went into the game, we looked at how many shots they took a game. We wanted to see if we can come under that. That was one of our goals. Eliminate some of the shots, attempts. And if you do that, that person cannot hurt you as bad. Yep. A great offensive player, you're not going to stop them anyway. So what you try to slow them down by reducing the number of their opportunities. Reduce their opportunities.
Well, and here's another thing, Coach, and then we'll move on. To me, he's more of a two-guard scoring, but he's been kind of being a combo.
Yeah.
And the other young man who I saw came back, he must have been out. He was more of the point guard. But what you just said, it seems like he would be using more at the off guard.
Right. I would. See that. I look for scores. I want somebody to be dominant, a ball dominant person, as long as they can score and they're shooting a good percentage. So I'm saying what Van Pettaway would do, not what Southern needs now.
Right.
Van Pettaway would take him and make him into a bigger scorer. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Well, that was the explanation. Yeah, and I asked you for that perspective. Moving on. Baseball season. Oh yeah. I must admit. Oh, go ahead, Charles. You had something to say about basketball?
Yeah. On the men's side, I think there's an interesting storyline here that we need to follow, and maybe some people that follow Bethune-Cookman can help me out here. We know Bethune-Cookman has a guy off the bench, Dr. Bradley, former player at UAPB. He didn't play in the last two home games. So I'm just wondering what his status is, because we got Bethune today. And I think that he is a huge difference maker off the bench for that team. And we'll see. I mean, I think if he's not available, I think that could be a big issue as far as Bethune-Cookman being successful going forward. So I don't know, maybe somebody can help me out with that. I don't know I've heard some stuff about it, but I don't know if it's true or not, whether the eligibility or maybe he had Ruffin had the flu. People were wondering what happened with Deshaun Ruffin and Jackson. He missed the last couple of games. It was reported he had the flu, which is fine. But I'm just wondering what's going on with Dr. Bradley, because I think he's a difference maker for them. And for Bethune to get where they want to go, they're a well-funded program. I think they need Dr. Bradley going forward. They're probably going to win the regular season, but winning the tournament's a whole nother animal. And I'm just wondering what his status is right now. For anybody that can help me out with that, because I'm trying to get information on it.
Right. Now, the last I heard, he was hurt, Charles.
Okay.
I heard he missed the last couple of games because of an injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, does that make Bethune-Cookman's road to the regular season harder going down the street? I think they got to go to Texas. They've got some home games coming up. Do they have enough to get to the finish line without him?
Right. No, I'm with you. I think without him, I don't think they can win it all. I think they got to have Bradley on the floor in order for them to win it all. He is probably one of the toughest covers. He and Ruffin are the two toughest covers in this league. Yeah, to try to guard Ruffin and to try to guard Bradley, man, that's a nightmare. You got to do some special stuff. You got to do some special game planning for those two guys. When you play against Jackson State, when you play against Bethune-Cookman, and those guys are healthy and on the floor, you got to go into your bag against them, Carlos.
Well, that's interesting. This Southern University basketball team hadn't been perfect, but they went into Jackson Wheeler, and they went to Bethune-Cookman
Mm-hmm.
and got it done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for
Matchups.
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
And I still say it's going to go down to deep in the season, maybe the last week. And I made a bold prediction last week. I would not be shocked if Bethune-Cookman doesn't win the tournament. Now, go ahead and crown them now, because everybody basically crowned them. And see, Willa, I go back to last year. The way people are feeling about Bethune is the way I was feeling about Southern University. You could have knocked me over with a feather in that tournament. I was so confident Southern was going to get it done in the tournament. Oh boy! Like I said, I would not be shocked if something happens. I think it's going to be a knocking mother rule, old football saying, in that tournament.
But if I'm Bethune, I want to start to shut that kid down and get him the rest necessary to get him back to full strength. I don't want to play him necessarily if he's hurt, and winning the regular season becomes less important for me if I know I'm really gonna need this guy come tournament time to really win it all when it really counts. So if I got to kind of shut him down a little bit right now, as he starts to get a little better injury-wise, then now's the time to do that. I'm not going to push him hurt right now in my quest to win the regular season title.
Right. But and see, you can tell that Bethune is vulnerable. Their last two games, look at the scores. Look, Texas Southern, to be honest, if Texas Southern hadn't had the meltdown, Texas Southern would have beat them.
And Prairie View, it was tough.
And then Prairie View had them. Prairie View had them on the ropes. So I'm telling you now, without Bradley, that's just a different team, man. And it's only because they're used to playing with him. Now, the first semester, they played the whole first semester without him. And see, that's not an issue. The problem is once you put a player in the rotation, then you lose him, it affects the team more. But if you play without that kid from the beginning, it doesn't hurt you as much because your kids are used to playing with the people that are available. But this guy's skill set, Bradley, if you put a big on him, he better be very athletic because Bradley can put it on the floor. He can do so many things. Then if you put a smaller person on him, he gonna take your lunch, man. He put your butt in the post, he putting you in the mid post, and he's scoring on you. Big people, he take you on the outside and beat you off the bounce, shoots the mid-range game, or gets all the way to the basket. Now, the only bad part about this kid's game, he does not shoot free throws well, Charles.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But other than that, he can score on all three levels. He's very active. That kid had, against us, that boy had 7 or 18 points and 10 rebounds, and he only played in the second half. And he only played like 15 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
That's just how explosive this kid is.
Yeah.
Coach Federer, I'm thinking about Coach Green. Coach Green used to coach in the NFL. He said, if you want to crown,
go ahead and crown.
Go ahead and crown. Because if you listen in a couple of weeks ago, it was Bethune-Cookman all the way.
Yep.
Now it seems like something has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, Coach Federer, what you're saying. In a week from now, things maybe look a little different.
Yep.
I still think it goes down to that last week in the regular season for seeding and position, and on both sides, women and men's side. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll transition to baseball. And I'm going to be honest. Usually when teams from up north come down south, I was telling Willa before the show, you have an advantage. I don't think I can say that anymore. Got some scores from teams from up north came down south, and it wasn't a good opening day for the majority of the SWAC in baseball. But there were some good stories, some good wins.
Free
look at that.
Crenshaw.
Oh.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Coles Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Coles Brown. We're joined by Willa Brown and Coach Van Pettaway. Before we get to baseball, I did say in the early segment what's trending. Southern University softball in Covington, Georgia. They got off to a good start. 8-5 over Howard in their first game, and then they beat Claflin 7-4 in game 2. Up next for the Jaguars to take on North Carolina A&T at 10 a.m. and Maryland Eastern Shore at 2:30 p.m. So Southern softball off to a good start. Now, baseball is a different story, guys. I'm getting all choked up. I hope I'm hoping that it's going to be a successful season for Southern University. It's early. First game of a long season. They lost to Miami of Ohio 11-1. Game 2 is today. It's a 3-game series. I think this is the first time in quite a while that the Jaguars have had an opening series at home. It's usually on the road. So hopefully they have an opportunity to bounce back. And if they get the next 2 games, they win the series.
And Carlos, our baseball team lost to Texas Southern 6-4 yesterday, and they got Jackson State today at 6.
Yep, 6-4. Lost the rest of the scores, and I got this from Division I baseball. Pine Bluff split with Linwood. They lost the first game 6-1. Then they won the second game. Mississippi Valley lost to Stephen F. Austin 17-2. Alcorn lost to Grambling State 11-1. Ooh. Arkansas Pine Bluff 8-6, I guess, in game 2 over Linwood. Eastern Illinois came down from the cold and the snow, and they spanked FAMU 13-4. But it's early. Then Mississippi Valley State lost again 15-3 to Stephen F. Austin. And then Bethune-Cookman defeated Bradley 2-1. Excuse me. Bradley out of the Missouri Valley Conference. And then today's schedule, Eastern Illinois, FAMU, Eastern Kentucky, Alabama State. And Alabama State won, I think, against Eastern Kentucky 6-3. Excuse me. Wow, I'm getting choked up here. Prairie View and Alcorn today. FAMU and Eastern Illinois, Bethune-Cookman and Bradley, and Eastern Kentucky again. They're all playing today. Thoughts on the opening game in baseball season?
Well, I mean, it's just game 1. It's just weekend 1. It's early. You know, for me, I kind of dig into baseball heavy once you get through the middle of March and into April. But I think when you have these SWAC matchups, I think it gets a little anxious early for us. You know, somebody called me about our loss in baseball yesterday. Like, what's going on? I'm like, it's just game 1. We got a ton of pitching. We just got to work through that. So it's going to take time. But, you know, when you're playing up, you lose to LSU 20-1, nobody says anything. But when you lose to a HBCU or SWAC school, it's like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, it's just game 1. It's still game 1. So it's early for me. Let us work through it. Let Southern work through it. You know, I think that Prairie View went over Jackson, first-year head coach there at Prairie View, if I'm not mistaken. And Jackson's been a team that's won championships in years past, and Omar Johnson has had his struggles to get out of, you know, the depths of the tournament the last few years. But it's early. It's the first weekend. It's the first game. You got 50-plus games, a lot of baseball in front of us. Let's let these managers manage and work through these pitching staffs. Because with us, it's all about, do you have enough pitching? We can hit the cover off baseball, every one of these teams in this conference, but do you have enough arms to get you where you need to go? I think that has to be worked through, and it's going to take time to do that.
Age-old question.
Right. That's just one that, you know, baseball, everything comes into play, the weather, everything else. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You just got to wait. You got to be patient. You got to have patience.
There is no patience, though.
I'm going to be patient.
There is no patience with any sport, with any fan base. There is no patience, and that's the unfortunate part. That's something that I'm coming to grips with. People want to see the wins right away, even though we know that most of the time it doesn't happen right away.
Let's ask them in. Okay, Lady Jazz just defeated North Carolina A&T 4-1. Good deal. Good deal. Thank you.
That's softball then.
Softball. Softball.
Yeah.
Yep, 3-0. I'll take it.
And see, our ladies are 3-3 on the season. We beat Alcorn and these other schools, the School of the Blind. We beat Arkansas Baptist and Dallas Christian. And you know, that's it's still early. And they're in the HBCU Classic also.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But you know, two things. You know, I'm fond of saying balance, and two things can be true at once. It's pressure to win. But Wheeler, I'm going to have the critical eye. The critical eye on two places, Jackson and Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree there's pressure on both?
Oh yeah.
Those two specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll just watch and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Playing up, I understand that. I understand it's early. But it bears monitoring, Coach Pettaway. on those two. We know Bethune-Cookman's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
We know FAMU usually comes out smoking. Let's see if FAMU at home, can they win the series? Can they bounce back?
Jamie Shoup just won a recent championship there in baseball. I think he's okay. Even though you got a new administration in there, I think Jamie Shoup's done a solid job for Florida in baseball. So I think he's fine. I think Omar Johnson signed a contract a couple of years ago or a year or so ago. So I think he's okay. I mean, he's won, but it's been a while. People probably forgotten the fact that he's won and has won tournament championships, but that's just the world we're in. What have you done for me lately? It hasn't been much for Jackson State, unfortunately for them, because they're a team that usually can go deep into the tournament, and they've been one of the first teams out the last few years. And I know that doesn't sit well with the Jackson State fans. And then of course Crenshaw, he won it all his first year, and it's been tough ever since. And so we'll see how that goes.
Well, he got to the finals against Alabama State.
He's always been in the conversation. He's always been in the conversation. And that's where you want to be. You're going to underperform every now and then, that sort of thing. But, every time we approach baseball season, Jackson State is one of the first teams that rattles off folks' mouths in terms of competitiveness, that sort of thing. And, Southern is normally, right in that ballpark. But, it just seems like coach is kind of, I don't know, underperforming right now or what have you. And, just got to find a way to get it done.
I still stand by my statement. The eyeballs will be watching in Jackson and Southern. They're going to be watching.
Didn't move you off the needle, did it, Carlos?
I'm not predicting anybody to lose their job or any of that. I basically said, in my opinion, the eyeballs will be in Jackson and Southern University. At one point, historically, you all know, Southern, Jack State, Grambling. Those were the three teams that won all the championships. But then here comes Prairie View, Texas Southern investing in the program, and others have invested. So it bears watching. Again, eyes.
Ain't but one of them dead man walking.
Didn't Bama State have a run in there somewhere? Bama State had a run in baseball somewhere. Yep.
Yeah.
Very, very good program. See, I add them on the other list of eyeballs. Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State, Grambling, Prairie View. But
FAMU. I mean,
right. I go back. Jackson and Southern is where the critical eyes will be looking this year.
Well, one of the more underrated coaches, I think, Carlos, is Davin Pierre at Grambling. He worked under James Cooper, who left to go to the Yankees organization. And Davin Pierre has done a really good job at Grambling. I mean, it's the same story with every team in the league. He's got the hit, he's got the bats, but the arms, has been an issue. So keep an eye on Grambling in terms of doing some good things. But but Bethune just won the tournament last year, so they're okay. I think Jamie Shoup's okay. I think coach at Alabama State, Coach Vasquez, I think he's got to kind of get it back up there. They've kind of had their struggles in the tournament. So in baseball, is it about the regular season or is it about the tournament when you're evaluating the baseball coach? Because teams that have kind of wandered and wallowed in the regular season turn it on in the tournament, and all of a sudden that coach gets a lifetime contract. So what is it about? Is it about the regular season in baseball, you think, or is it about the damage you do in the tournament?
Oh boy, I think we've had this discussion before. I'm going to say it's the body of work, both. two things can be true at once.
Yeah.
Because what if the scenario? You win a regular season and then you get bounced, God forbid, early in the tournament.
Yeah.
Are you judged just on that tournament? I say it's the whole Wheeler, I'm still in
I would agree
quote,
with you. I would agree with you, Carlos. I would agree with you. It's about the body of work, but at the same time, you're pretty much judged on what you did last. And unfortunately, the tournament is the last thing that comes to mind. So I ain't saying you got to win it, but if you're making a deep run, year in and year out, that sort of thing. If you're in the hunt, then all that is a positive in terms of the evaluative process.
Well, I'll go ahead and put it out there on Valentine's Day.
Coach Fetterway, gotta have love on Valentine's Day now. You gotta have love.
Oh, yeah. To me, from what I've been told, you're in your final year of your contract. Oh boy, we got the predictions. We'll put that up to order finish. I think Southern was picked 7th. There we go. Brian Fulford is on the ball. You see Bethune-Cookman, FAMU, Alabama State, Grambling. I have no problem with that at all. That's kind of, if I had a vote, that's kind of where I would go. Then you got Jackson State. Then you got Pine Bluff. Southern's at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Prairie View, 8th. I think Prairie View going to do a little better than that. For me, just my opinion, it would be very nice if Southern, with love now, if they can be in that top 4 and make a decent run in the tournament. Willa, look at me when I'm talking. You disagree with that? I think you got to make a run.
I agree with that 100%, Carlos. And I'll be one of the first ones to say your budget should not screen 7th place.
Well,
to me,
that could be a curse now when you got a great budget.
I'm just saying, to me, that's unacceptable. I'm putting too much in that program for it to be a 7th place program.
You know what? Let's ask Edwin. He's a baseball guru in the chat room. I think they at least got to get 2 or 3 wins in the tournament and finish higher than 7th.
I think you got to get to the semis.
Let's see what Edwin says about that.
Yeah, get to the semis, then we could have that discussion in terms of moving forward. And but like you said, he's on the clock this year. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's underachieved the last few years, that sort of thing. And so he's really got to show me that he's going to be our guy moving forward.
And let me add this quickly, then we'll hear from others. Remember we were talking about, I think it was last year. And when I go on that Apple phone and get that text message, I'm going straight to the source. Remember someone said in the chat room, I think it was VW, saying he didn't have everything he needed. So I text that ultimate source, and he said he has everything that is needed. Now, I'll leave it at that. I'm hoping with love in the 3rd or 4th place would be lovely. 3rd place would be outstanding in the regular season. And by the way, I think the first 2 conference series is which, as Charles said, you're going to get graded on. Oh boy, they've got Bethune-Cookman and FAMU, or is it Bethune-Cookman and Alabama State? So after the first 2 weekends in conference play, it'll tell us something. Hopefully it's a split. Hopefully it's 3-3, and they're both on the road.
Yeah,
tough.
And but here's another scenario out there. What if so he's picked to finish 7th. What if he finishes 3rd, but then has an early exit in the tournament? Does that change the conversation?
Does that change Carlos Brown's conversation? We'll have a discussion. We'll have a discussion.
Well, that's where the body of work issue comes in once again. And like I said, if I'm putting a lot of money in the program, seventh place to me, like I said, is not going to get it for me. So I mean, we got to be in that upper third. Okay, he's going to have to make a pretty deep run. When I say a deep run, I'm talking at least get me to Friday. If he doesn't win the championship, that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Get me to the semis. Then we can talk theoretically about what we're going to do moving forward. But the total body of work not being where it needs to be, we're not being in the hunt not each and every year, but often enough. And not making any runs come tournament time. Those aren't recipes for success moving forward.
Interesting conversation. Just putting it out there. Thanks, Brian.
And hopefully during the last evaluation, he had that discussion and told me, what was needed in terms of moving forward, for us to get over the hump, that sort of thing. And hopefully my AD has kind of slid some things my way to kind of help facilitate me getting the things that I need in order to be successful. And, but clock's ticking.
Coach Pettaway, aren't you glad you never were in that position? In basketball. I put myself in that position. I'm in that position. I'm going to try everything. It's a lot of pressure, but look, I'm going to try to come through and give the best. And at the end of the day, if I've done my best and I fall a little short, well, at least I know I've done my best. But yeah, there'll be multiple things going on. Now, another thing you throw up, Charles, what if I know you with all these different scenarios, what if he wins the tournament championship in baseball?
You got to re-up.
Give him 2 years. Give him 2 more.
That's my standard, the Carlos Brown contract.
Well, Carlos, you brought up the basketball scenario. You do know we had a coach that was told by his AD you had to finish in the top 4 or else you're out. And when we got to the last weekend of the regular season, he was 5th and had to win 2 home games to get to the top 4. He did, and he got another contract. That has happened. You remember that? You remember that, Coach Pettaway?
Yeah. Oh boy, man.
And allegedly, there was a coach in waiting, ready to go, but he finished in the top 4, so he had to give him another contract. Yeah. That happened.
Oh boy! In today's climate, you got to. It's win or go home.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like putting them testicles in the vice, man. Squeeze lightly, baby. Squeeze lightly.
Edward did respond. Let's see if he finished in the top 4. That's good. In this conference with basically a new team. We had players drafted last year. We'll make a note of that. It's just a tough situation. And, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Everybody talks about Kerrick Jackson, and they wish, things would have worked out different where he was still at the head of the Southern baseball program, but that issue, He's moved on, and we'll see. I still say the eyes will be really in Jackson and Baton Rouge. Let's see what they can get going this season. It would be nice. It would be nice to get to the point where, look, you're in the top 3rd for Southern and Jackson, and then you make a deep run in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are hoping for. Now, with the SWAC basketball report, we talked a little bit of SWAC basketball in our number 1. Coach Pettaway.
Yes, sir.
Can Alabama A&M basically go on a 15 game winning streak? In other words, can they win 4 more games? 2, will they be the regular season champs on the women's side?
Well, that Florida trip is going to tell the story. They got to defend the home court today against Mississippi Valley, and if they can sweep Florida, yes, they can get it.
Charles?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's just a lot of pressure right now. I mean, for what Coach Brown is doing is outstanding. But as we know, when you get to this upper echelon, when you're 17-1, 16-2, the assumption is that you're going to win the tournament, and that has not been the case. Right. The number 1 seeds in the last few years typically have not. It's usually the lower seeded team. Texas Southern came out of the dungeon as an 8 seed and won it 1 year. But there's no doubt they are a great story. Can they get it done? I think they're the toughest matchup. I mean, they handled the Lady Braves with the post, as Coach Pettaway mentioned. If they get that going, they're going to be a tough outfit to beat. But the Lady Braves defense, assuming that we hook up in the finals. But to answer your question, yeah, if they get through Florida, which I do think they will, Florida A&M only had 9 players the other night when they were here. So I don't know what Coach Gordon's got, as far as injuries. One of their better players, Sue Barras, was out. So they're banged up right now, but that's no excuse. But I think if Alabama A&M continues what they're doing, they're going to win the regular season. We got to go to Texas. We're the number 2 seed right now. We got to go to Texas, and that's never been easy for us. So if they do what they're doing, they're going to be the 1 seed. But in the tournament, the game slows down. It's about defense. Can A&M get through that in a slog in the SWAC tournament? I think that's going to be another question.
Right, and then see, in terms of defense, Alabama A&M, the Lady Bulldogs are number 1 in the SWAC in defense. And as of Thursday now, before the game, they were 37th in the country. And she thought that they would move up. I haven't looked to see where they are now, but they've been hanging their hat on defense. They only give up like 57 points a game. So they've been doing pretty good, Carlos, on the defensive end of the floor.
I just got a strange, well, I won't say strange. I still think it's going to come. It's not really etched in stone.
No, it's not.
You look at Southern. You look at Alcorn. Charles, Alcorn, it seems like me listening to the broadcast, are they under 12 players?
Yeah.
And they've done a hell of a job, Coach Kilbert. I'm wondering if that will catch up with them. It hasn't so far because they win with defense, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Offense. I think Southern has a legitimate shot to be the number 2 seed. So this thing's still going to play out.
Right, and see, Southern and Grambling still got to come to Huntsville. Mm-hmm. So see, Southern still, that's why I'm saying the race is not over with yet, because Southern, all Southern has to do is keep winning, and that includes on the road. Now that means they got to win on the road.
Yeah, but it's going to take a little more than that, Coach. I mean, we got a 2-game lead. Alcorn has a 2-game lead over Southern and Alabama State, and they have the tiebreaker on Southern and Alabama State.
Oh, that is true.
So theoretically, we're 3 games up if you just want to just map the whole thing out. I think it's going to be tough. If the Lady Braves just cough it up, then that's how they're going to lose the number 2 seed. I mean, and we got this game at home. We got Jackson at home next Saturday. Then we got Valley and Pine Bluff to end the regular season. That trip to Texas could be interesting. If we get 1, I think we'll be fine. We can't take our foot off the gas, though. I mean, we just can't put on the uniform and show up. We can be a good team, but we got to, even against Florida A&M the other night, I mean, we were down 5 and, we're just kind of all over the place. And then all of a sudden we just kind of got it going. We can't have those kind of lapses going forward if we want to get that keep that number 2 seed or even push for the top spot, which is out of our control. So I think for us, our defense has to continue to carry us, because there have been some nights in which we've shot 36, 37%. And you typically on the road don't win those games. But our defense has been so good in creating 20, 21, 22 turnovers. Southern missed 18 free throws here. I mean, wow. You can go back to that game and just that just stands out for me. We got it done. I'm glad. we got it done. But Southern missed 18 free throws. They went to the line 41 times. And I don't know if there's another team in this league that went to the line that many times in a SWAC game. I might be wrong. I looked at some of that. But Southern had a shot. But, and they won by 16. And, and you look at all of that. But I think you asked about the Lady Braves. We got to continue to be good defensively. Offensively, we just got to be efficient enough. But we got to hang our hat on the defensive side.
Right. And then, one of the things that has to happen too now, we got that last 2 weeks of the season where those games are back to back.
That's right.
The teams that got depth are the ones that are going to step up now, because that's a tough haul now.
Yes.
That's going to be a tough haul.
Yes. We need to talk about that, Carlos, because I think we did that early on, but the last 4 games of the regular season are double headers.
Yep.
They're Thursday, Saturday, then Tuesday, Thursday.
Right.
It's not the usual. I think we only have maybe 2 more Monday night matchups left. And that's because you want, with all teams in, the tournament starts early. So that does, Coach Pettaway is exactly right, and I've been thinking about it. That does play a factor, in terms of depth and just playing so many games in a short window. Like we had 4 games in 7 days, and it kind of caught up with us against UAPB in the last 10 minutes. So I think that's something to talk about here as we roll forward.
Well, that's the thing. You got everybody in, so that's the way it falls.
I knew that was coming. You're right. You're right.
It wasn't the situation. They voted on it. That's what's put in place. Everybody has to deal with it.
Yeah.
So it is important. I guess the teams with the most depth, it'll help them out.
Yeah. I mean, our men only have 9 players. FAMU only dressed 9 the other night. And so, I mean, Coach Pettaway's heard this, and I've heard coaches say, all I need is a good 7 or 8. But when you got 9 total, does that change anything?
Yeah. And see, it's rough when the schedule goes like that. So they got to be ready to play, man. And you got to find ways to get them kids some rest, man, so they have their legs, man, because that last week is a grind leading up to that tournament.
Well, it brings up the situation. If you're at a point where you can drop no lower, say, than the 5th or 6th seed, and you have a legitimate shot at the number 3 seed, and you can't move up, do you do like the NBA? Workload management. Well, I didn't say that. But now I'm on board. You remember I said all the teams in the tournament, you went from 10. Ideally, I liked 8. But guess what, Mr. Brown? Don't matter what you think. All 12 teams are in that tournament. So let the games begin.
You play the game, let the chips fall where they may. You play the game.
Well, you got 3 races going on. You got a race for the regular season title. You got a race for that number 2 seed for the double bye. Then you got another race to get out of the bottom 4. Because if you're in 9 through 12, you're playing on Monday. And just think how many games you have to play to get to where you want to be if you're one of those bottom seeds. So for us, for our men, we're in a 3-way tie for 9th right now. We beat Prairie View, head up. We got to go to Texas. And so I think for Jake Morton, we're not going to win the regular season. We're not going to get that 2nd seed, but I would like to see us get out of that bottom 4. And so for teams that are like 5th, 6th, that don't have a shot to win the regular season, I wonder, I'm not saying load management. I don't think that's going on, but I just wonder, are you instituting different plays, different sets just to see something you can institute in the tournament? I wonder how, I might be crazy. I might be totally off on this, but if you're in the middle of the pack and just kind of in that quandary where you probably ain't going to drop much, you ain't going to move up much, how do you work it?
Well, to me, Charles, if you look at the schedule, your season's going to end on a Thursday. You're not going to play until the next week. You're going to use that time in there to add a wrinkle or 2. So you got enough time in there at the end of the season. With the season ends Thursday night, you're not going to play until the earliest is Monday. or Tuesday for the men rather. So you got enough time in there where you can put you another wrinkle in, a wrinkle or two.
But if you're on the road, if you're on the road Thursday, does that change things? I mean, you get back early Friday morning and you got to give them a day off. I mean, is there still enough time built into that?
Yeah, that is true.
I think so.
Yeah, just give them a little rest if need be.
Yeah.
It's Coach Pettaway. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like it's going to be your first time seeing some of them.
Right.
And then you know each other. Yeah, a few wrinkles. Yeah, but rest and a few wrinkles.
And see, Charles, at that time of the year, you're gonna start backing off on practice anyway, in terms of what you're doing with your legs now.
Mm-hmm.
The smart ones are gonna do that. The ones that don't understand, they keep you grinding if they want to. You're not gonna have it. Them kids not gonna have it in their bodies, man. But you have to start backing off. But there's not as much running. There's more. Should be more teaching going on now than actual physical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But here's another point though. Okay, we all know there are certain teams you only play one time. For example, we only play Alabama A&M one time. We only play Alabama State one time. You haven't seen that. If you play that team in the tournament, you haven't seen them since the second week in January.
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of follow them, but you don't because you only see them one time. Is that a factor when you come up to that particular matchup in the tournament?
You know each other.
No,
I mean,
right.
even if you play them just once in the season, you know each other. You really do. It's not like, wow, what's behind door number 2? I don't know this team. You know them, even if you only play them once. Southern knows Alcorn. Alcorn knows Southern.
Yep. And then Charles, with
everybody
technology,
got tape out there. Everybody.
Yeah, that's why. Just for the tell you,
so I mean, there ain't no secrets going on.
Yep.
You know,
don't overcomplicate
come that
it.
time of the year, like Coach Pettaway said, you may add a wrinkle here and there, that sort of thing, but you're gonna be true to who you are.
Yep.
What they say, dance with the girl that brought you or what have you. That's pretty much what you're gonna do.
Right.
You're gonna let the chips fall where they may. Ain't gonna be no trick or treat.
It's not Halloween.
You ain't pulling those specials out the bag. Then all of a sudden, you gonna beat Bethune or what have you. You're gonna beat somebody because you brought the fundamentals to the core. And you're playing basketball the way it's supposed to be played. You're playing playoff basketball at the playoff time of the year. And just let the chips fall where they may from there. If you got 9 people, you go on with that 9. You ain't pissing and moaning. Woe is me, thinking somebody's gonna have a little pity on you, that sort of thing. They're gonna grind you just like if you had 14 kids. It's not gonna make a difference. So
Right.
You are who you are. Go on out there, put it out there, let the chips fall.
Right. And at this time of the year, you should be backing off anyway, man. Because of the grind that the kids have already been in. You don't do as much stuff with them to get their legs. You don't want their legs tired this time of the year. So you start backing off of stuff, and then there's enough time between Thursday and when you play again. I would go for one out of bounds play that you haven't seen all year, and maybe one offensive set that you're not familiar with. Because see, with technology, the way they got stuff set up now, they can go in there and hit a couple of buttons and they got all your offense. That's the way it is now. Whereas in the past, Charles, those were man hours. You had to actually sit there, whether it was a tape or the CD, you had to sit there to put all that stuff together. Now they don't even have to do that, man. With this technology they got now, they hit a couple buttons and the same thing that's been taking us hours to do, they can do it in a matter of minutes.
Right.
And Charles, if we got to spend a few dollars to get there early, if we got to spend a few more dollars to get there early, stay in a hotel a couple of days longer, that sort of thing, that's the time of the year. That's why you save a few dollars here and there, and you go ahead and do it. So if we got to leave after that last game and head to Atlanta, then so be it.
I was told that our team was leaving Sunday.
Now. If I'm the 12th seed, I'm gonna save that money. If I'm the 12th seed, I'm gonna save that money now.
Well, that's Coach Pettaway. That's a trustee that has never coached and don't know what the hell going on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I'm hiding some money here and there, Coach Pettaway. I'm hiding some money throughout the year, throughout the season, that for those kind of purposes. Exactly. So if I got to go through the foundation or what have you, somewhere, somehow, there's going to be 18, 19,000 hidden somewhere, that I'm going to be able to draw from, come tournament time, to make sure that my guys and ladies are able to get there a little earlier, that sort of thing. If we're going to go, we're going to go. If we're going to go, let's go.
Yeah. Spare no expense, Wheeler. Spare no expense.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, 12 teams in the tournament, how long you think that's going to last? 2-3 years? Just a projection.
As long as the student athletes want it to last.
Yep.
I'd say at least 3 years, and then they'll vote on it again. They'll look at it and see pros and cons, that sort of thing, see how the kids feel about it, see how the admins, how the administration feels about it, that sort of thing. They'll put it up to another vote, but they'll give it 3 years in order to get some, some background on it, that sort of thing.
Interesting. Inquiry Minds just wanted to know. Well, I did.
There is some pushback against it. There are people that are on this platform that have shows on this platform that are that have played the game, and they said there's no reason why we should have 24 SWAC teams at the tournament. I've heard those folks. They have shows and they put it on social media. They've expressed their opinions about it. So I get it. I respect it. I just think it's different. It's unique. And, I can tell you that from my understanding, our teams are leaving Sunday. Our women's team is leaving Sunday. We're going to Atlanta. So we're going to be there, even though we're not going to be in that bottom tier. We're going to be there to watch these other teams. And I get it. And I completely get it. Now, some other teams are kind of probably feeling it out to see where they could be, where they might leave on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it is. I don't know. But I think, for us, we're going to be there early, maybe one of the first teams there.
Well, you can't leave on no Monday if you're playing Monday now. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
true. Yeah. I would imagine if you know that you're one of those bottom tier teams as you get the last couple of weeks of the season, if the season ends on a Thursday, Saturday, you may be pulling out. I mean, because you just don't want to get there the day before. You got to find a place to practice. Traffic is. There's a lot there. I mean, experiencing Atlanta last year is a great experience. You're right by the airport. You can fly in, but going to Morehouse to practice, not that far, but still you got to deal with traffic and logistics. That stuff you got to map out. So it just depends. Too much downtime versus not enough. You have to deal with that. I'm sure every coach has to figure that out too.
And see, everybody shouldn't try to run over to Morehouse. You still got Clark Atlanta over there. Some of the coaches know Petway over at Kennesaw State. So there are other options. Everybody shouldn't crowd into Morehouse because there's not enough time in the day for everybody to get in Morehouse anyway.
And I was just reminded, I think Edward Moore, Carlos, put it out there. They have to be there early for the banquet, which is the day before everything starts. So
they have an event.
Saturday, I think everybody will be in place. Come Saturday, maybe Friday, who knows? I mean, I want to get my team there as early as possible. I mean, whatever the coach wants, if he wants to get there 2 days early, whatever the coach wants to make it comfortable for his or her team, that's me. I'm not an administrator, but I've been around coaches that believe in getting to these. Shirley Walker believed in getting to places early. She didn't believe in the rush travel. And I agree. And even that's been 20 years ago. I think to this day, that's still important. So if you got teams leaving Saturday, even though you might not play the Monday, the banquet is Sunday. Even if you leave Friday, I don't have a problem with it myself. That's something you just got to prepare for budgetarily, and I'm sure Wheelers and former administrator will make sure that's what coach. Whatever you want to leave, let me know, and we'll make sure we make it happen.
If we're going, let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, at the same time, part of me would say that, maybe 12 teams shouldn't be going. But I understand, student athlete welfare part of it, and every kid wanted an opportunity to be able to partake in the festivities, that sort of thing. So I understand that part of it. So that part of me is kind of all for it. But the penny pincher side of me, would say that if you're 0-18, that sort of thing in the conference, why am I sending you to the conference championship, that sort of thing. So, I mean, you can look at it either way, but bottom line, if you want to go, let's go.
Let's go.
Don't spare the dollar. Let's go and do it the right way. Make sure the kids have a memorable experience either way it goes.
So coming out, with the tournament being in Atlanta, you're looking at both of the Texas schools flying in. Probably both Florida schools flying in. And Charles, would you say everybody else busing?
Yeah, I know we are. I was talking with the coaches about it the other day. They will be busting it in. I'm sure the vast. I mean, I think other than, I would even say probably some of the FAMU might be. I don't know. I'm
what
almost.
About Grambling and Southern probably would fly in too, wouldn't it?
If I would have bet, I would say no. If I would have bet,
if I had anything to do with it, they'd be flying.
Yeah.
Since I'm hearing all the talk about spare no expenses.
Yeah. UAPB might fly.
Let me text them and see.
Well, I know our teams are busting it. I know our teams are busting it. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean.
But what's that, 6 hours for you guys, Charles?
Yeah. Well, I was talking with coaches, one of the softball coaches the other day about this. When you're talking about busing, and you're talking about chartering, and this is a whole nother topic. It's not like you're taking your own bus where the drivers can kind of do what they could do. When you're chartering buses and you got a long trip, drivers can only do 8 hours. And so if that trip is longer than 8 hours and you're stopping and you're gassing up and all, you got to change drivers. That takes a little time. So you have to build that in. And I'm not certain that sometimes that gets built in all the way. I think, a trip to Houston could easily take 8 hours from here.
They need
now, if you're taking your own bus, you can go 6 because you don't necessarily have to, you don't have to stop, and they're not on a time restriction. But all that stuff, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, but I think it's just something that sometimes we forget about.
Are those buses automatic? Most of the new ones, I know, like those nice luxury.
Yeah.
Most of them
Heck, I can drive that rascal.
But look,
I got a heavy foot. It won't take no 8 hours to get to Atlanta.
But you know what?
That CDL.
And then they got the sleeper buses too. Because here at A&M, they start using the sleeper buses, the buses that are equipped with beds and stuff on them. So it's a little bit different now when you do bus. But I just think that if flying is a part of the program, that's what you need to do to get those kids there.
In a perfect world,
save their legs and stuff, save their bodies.
Yeah.
And when you're negotiating with those bus companies, Charles. A lot of times we've come long distances. They have drivers like 8 hours out, that sort of thing, that have been there the day before, and so they're well rested. We pull into a particular hotel parking lot halfway down the road, and they switch drivers out, that sort of thing.
Keep going.
Get right back on the highway and keep it moving.
Yep.
So they, those companies kind of plug all that into the prices that they're charging you in terms of that particular charter.
And really, one of the quirks I had here at A&M, you could not gas up that bus with us on the bus.
Uh-huh.
I did not believe in that. No, I'm serious. I did not believe in that. Do not pull up. Do not gas up. Right.
Yeah.
Do not gas up with me and my team on that bus.
Well, I think that might be kind of halfway required now because, I mean, I haven't been on a bus in a while, but if I remember, one of the last times I did on a trip, when they pulled up to that truck stop, the driver said everybody had to get off. So I think that probably is a part of it.
And normally folk were getting off anyway. I mean, you were turning that into a quote unquote rest stop.
Right. But see but Wheeler, that was in the contract. You couldn't if you wanted to travel, if you wanted to take my team, you had to do your gassing up while we either in the hotel or at the arena. Right. Don't do it with my entire team. Mine was simply this. What if something happened at that station? You got all of us. Right. We all in the same. That's just like in the Army. One grenade take all us out.
Yeah. Hey guys, I gotta get out. I gotta get my pregame.
I got
all
you.
Right.
The Braves are gonna hand Reggie Theus the second loss, guys. I made a prediction 2 weeks ago. I almost nailed it. 68-63 Alcorn over Bethune-Cookman. Final score.
On the men's side?
On the men's side.
I'll shave my eyebrows off.
Hold up, Charles. You saying you are gonna beat Bethune, man?
Yes, I'm booking it right now. 68-63 Alcorn.
I heard
that.
Lady Braves by 12.
Let me see if Doc Bradley can get that prediction. Let me see if Doc Bradley heard that.
If he's here, I need to go downstairs and see if he's here.
Right.
All right, guys. Talk to you next week.
All right, should have quit while you were ahead on that one. But you know, it's interesting. After the Thursday night games for women, and then they both play together on Saturdays, correct?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a time where both women's and the men's team before the split, they would ride together, right? Or did some institutions? I mean, like the women went on a separate bus and the men went on a separate bus.
Yes.
But see, now I used to see some teams come to get both the women and the men
on the D2 level.
I didn't do that D2.
Yeah, D2 level, you got both men and women on the same bus.
No, sir, Willa. Not A&M.
Yeah.
Not Alabama A&M. I would not have that. I did not have. See, this is what they got me for. Willa, I didn't want females around me and my team. Period. You couldn't even give me a female trainer back then. So no, we were always separate. We even back when we had mini buses. You had one for the ladies, you had one for the men. Then when we chartered buses, two buses. Yeah, we 80, maybe the 80, 83, 84, they were still traveling together. But by the time I became head coach, we were separate at Division II. Yep.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I was much younger then, but I could have swore some team, maybe not Alabama.
No. In the SWAC, some of the teams did used to travel together. Because I remember Valley used to come here. I remember Valley used to come here together. And if I'm not mistaken, one year I think Alcorn did it.
I think that's
Yep. I think Alcorn traveled together.
Ooh, thank you. I thought I was good. I thought I was getting senile there, but I thought I saw it. Yeah, but now you know they travel separate, basically.
Right.
Yeah. On that note, we'll take another time out. Then we'll come back. Game of the week predictions. Some big games. Wow, Charles. What confidence. What confidence. I don't know about that one, Coach Petty.
Yeah, I know.
Because somebody brought it up in the chat room. Even Bethune-Cookman playing their 8 or 9 players, they've still been able to win, albeit some of them were close. And they're just that darn good. They're just that darn good. And I think Alcorn's men are probably a year or two away. They've had some big games. And my other question is with Alcorn women. Coach Kilbert has done an outstanding job. But I'm wondering if they're going to slow down a bit because that's why I asked Charles that question about their roster. And I know everybody goes through injuries and stuff, but man, if they're able to even get the second seed in all of the some adversity that they've gone through, you owe it all to Coach Kilbert. I know they have the coach of the year, and depends on the team that wins the regular season now, but a strong case for Coach Kilbert to be coach of the year on the women's side. Just a couple of things I just threw out there. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, it'll be more of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. We shall return.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
And we have to fund our kids in these colleges, and we have to make sure our kids have seats in these colleges.
Now, what about HBCUs? You mentioned.
Absolutely. You got to fund them all, and you got to make sure they're properly funded. You know, the real reason why I went after Comcast and Charter, it didn't have anything to do with my cable networks. It didn't. What happened was a gentleman wanted to do the Black College Sports Network in partnership with the HBCUs. And Comcast did not accept it. And that would have made a lot of money for these black colleges.
Absolutely.
And it would have educated the Black College Sports Network. This is what he wanted to do. That would have educated a lot of black kids. And when they didn't do that, that's when I came off the bench and said, okay, I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree. Okay? That was the real reason why I got into it, was when I saw what happened with the Black College Sports Network, which I don't own. I just knew.
Why didn't you buy it?
I just knew. I just knew that these black.
I like that talk.
All right. I knew that these black colleges were going to benefit, and these black kids were going to get the education that they deserved and not have to pay.
There's a shot. To right. Might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Carlos.
There we go. There we go. Welcome
All right.
back to this week's edition of the Carlos Brown Show, right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Carlos Brown, joined by Willow Brown and Coach Van Pettaway. Coach Pettaway.
Yes, sir.
I was looking in the chat room, and they brought up Shirley Walker. Boy, what a coach, what a character.
Yes, sir.
And her husband, you know?
Lonnie Walker. Yeah.
Yes. I would be courtside then, Sydney, and I would always look for Lonnie because he was right behind Alcorn's women's bench.
Yep.
You know, the rumor was he was actually
coaching them.
Yeah. Somebody said, "Hey, can he move him from that seat?" Well, I don't think he can do that. Boy, we've had some outstanding coaches, but Coach Walker, what I did like about her, Coach Pettaway, she rode the officials.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Coach Shirley Walker.
Yep. Lovely lady. Now, Carlos, I did a little research during that commercial. We were talking about Bethune-Cookman and only playing 8 or 9 players. Bethune-Cookman only has 1 player in the top 20, in the top 30, 25 in the conference in minutes played now. Only 1. And that's Jacob Hetty. He's the only one on Bethune. So what he's doing, he's rotating his people. So they're not getting a lot of minutes. Now here's the problem. You look at Prairie View. Prairie View got 4 people on there. So that means they're playing a lot of minutes. But he's only got 1 player who's playing over 30 minutes a game.
Who does that remind you of from last year?
Coach Johnson, Southern. Right. You don't you play people. You keep fresh bodies on the floor. And I think that was part of your success last year.
Well, now, Coach Pettaway, you've made me even more nervous now for Bethune-Cookman. I'm telling you, that tournament, everything sits beautifully for Bethune-Cookman. But I still say I won't be shocked. I hope they don't have the fate that Southern had last year. You run into 13.
Right.
Let's say a FAMU in the first game in the tournament, even though they have a double bye. Also, but let's stop right there. University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Now,
too many minutes.
Will they be able to going forward?
Too many minutes. They got 4 players averaging over 30 minutes in this averaging over 30 minutes a game.
Now, they remind me of Alcorn women. And I guess I didn't ask the question right or bring up the point, but I kind of worry about Alcorn women as well. What are their minutes?
Okay, wait. I'm gonna have to look it up real quick.
Well, you can come back to it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a big thing. Minutes played, man. That's tough on those kids now. That's tough on those kids. Now with Alcorn's women, number 30 minutes. They got 1 player. They only have Alcorn only has 1 player that's playing. No, they got 2 back to back, 11 and 12. Yeah, they got 2 players that are playing over 30 minutes a game.
Now I think they lost some players, right?
Well, yes, but I don't know who they are on this.
Yeah,
Cotton and Henderson, they're both over 30 minutes a game for Alcorn.
We'll look at the pace of their minutes going forward.
And then the other thing too. Now remember, he's not up tempo, so they walk. So they do get some rest because they walking it up the floor.
Valid point.
Yep.
Valid point. Interesting. I guess at the end of the day, who's hot going into the tournament?
That's
who gets the.
That's it, Carlos.
That's gonna make the difference.
Who has the momentum going in that tournament?
Yeah,
who's going to have energy? Who's going to be rested? And the more at the bottom, more games you're going to have to play. So there is a reward for the regular season. So Mr. Brown, it does mean something now. Although all 12 teams are in.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of the double bye. You know, if you got a single bye, and I'm good with that. I want to get out there and let's start playing that sort of thing. So, you know, I mean, like I said, if you're not a clear cut number one, you know, if you're in that 2-3 slot, I think you're still in a pretty good position in terms of moving forward.
As a Southern alum, I want another shot at Alcorn. You see how I'm saying? Even if they're in that third seed, eventually they'll get there. Now, on the men's side, as a Southern alum, Alabama State would scare the dickens out of me because I know it's going to be a tough game.
Yep.
You know, if it's a rival game, your first game in the tournament, albeit like last year, Southern Grambling State. You saw what happened. Now, when we had Coach Justin on, he said some things were going on. He wasn't aware that some players were already going to be at another team.
Yeah.
You remember? So it's a lot of different factors to go in. But rest and who's hot and who's not going into that tournament. Now, with that being said, let's pull up the schedule for today. Both on the women and men's side, FAMU at Jackson State, 2:30 p.m. HBCU, go. Coach Petaway, FAMU and Jackson.
Game. Okay, I think Jackson State will probably win that one, Carlos.
On the women's side and the men?
On the women's side. Yeah, we're doing women first, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think Jackson will win that one because they're at home.
Yeah.
Same thing. Jackson at home.
I'll have to make it unanimous. Bethune Cookman at Alcorn State on the women's side.
I'm going with Alcorn. The corn.
I'll go with Alcorn at home.
I'll go with Alcorn as well. And you heard last week, Charles said, you know, when he shook somebody's hand, that was Coach Gilbert. I knew it. I knew it.
Yep.
Arkansas Pine Bluff at Alabama State. Now that's interesting. Now Alabama State came in and can I say shocked Southern University?
Yep. They playing well.
But then Arkansas Pine Bluff won at home against Alcorn. It's bad February.
Bama State at home. I'm sorry.
Bama State at home. I'm going with the home team.
I'm going to go with Alabama State, but, you know, I don't know. Arkansas Pine Bluff, maybe they're going to be still high after beating Alcorn women. So, yeah, we'll go to Alabama State. Grambling State at Texas Southern. Texas Southern got spanked Thursday night. Grambling has been playing well. Texas Southern gets it done at home?
Yeah, I think they do.
I'm going with Grambling on that one.
Okay. I got Texas Southern at home.
I'm going to say Texas Southern's going to want to redeem themselves. They don't want to lose to the second Louisiana school. I got Texas Southern. Alabama A&M and Mississippi Valley State. Valley upset Alabama A&M, right?
Yeah, and no upset today. Ain't no upset today.
They're going to remember that.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll have to see another video. I saw that video at Southern's locker room. Alabama A&M were dancing and happy.
Don't feel bad. They do that after every game.
Oh, I know. The diva.
Yeah,
that's right. They're rolling. I like Alabama A&M in that one as well.
A&M.
Southern at Prairie View. Now, believe it or not, Prairie View played Southern well for a few minutes, but Southern
Prairie View is over. So Southern will go in there and win that game.
Southern.
I like Southern as well. Monday night, Bethune Cookman at Jackson State women.
No,
Jackson.
No, it can't be for Monday now. Is it Monday for the women?
Yeah, according to the schedule.
Okay.
SWAC. Bethune Cookman at Jackson State, ESPNU. Now, wait a minute. Am I looking at the men's? Oh, yeah, that's men, but that's a big one. But not for the women.
Yeah, right. That's what the women don't play again until Thursday.
Right. I was in error on that one.
Okay.
Monday, February the 16th. After the Valentine's Day, after the hearts and all the candies and the sweet dinners and all of that. Because, the student athletes, they have a social life as well.
Oh, yeah.
Bethune-Cookman at Jackson State, 6 p.m. ESPNU. That's the men. Woo, boy. Can Jackson State pull it off? Will it go to overtime? Will it? You think Bethune-Cookman wins it?
I think Bethune wins it.
I'm going to go, I hope it's not the kiss of death. I'm going for the upset. I think Jackson State gets it. I think Jackson State gets it.
Nah. If Bradley is playing, Bethune-Cookman going to win that game.
Well,
that's why Charles need to find out what's going on with Bradley.
Well, that's still good without Bradley. But they had to squeak one on Prairie View. I think they may be right. But I'll see if I'm wrong on that one. Mississippi Valley State at Alabama State, 6 p.m. SWAC TV. Alabama State, they get it done.
Oh, yes, I agree with that.
Yep, Alabama State.
Grambling State at Prairie View, 6 p.m. SWAC TV. I think Prairie View gets it done.
I'm going with Grambling.
Yep, I'm going with the G-men.
Wait a minute, Prairie View with all that high scoring and the super guard. He had been hurt. I wonder how his health is. Is he coming back?
Yeah, I think he's played in the last couple of games.
I'm gonna go with Prairie View. Southern at Texas Southern. Oh boy, 7 p.m. SWAC TV. When they get together in Houston, it is always tough. I don't know, Coach Pettaway. I don't know what this.
That's going to be a knockdown drag out on that one. I don't know. I think Texas Southern at home going to be tough, man.
I'm going with Southern.
Oh boy. I don't know. I got a feeling Texas Southern's going to, it may be crazy. It may go to overtime. Lights may go out. Who knows?
Yeah, they had some barn burners.
Yeah, historically, it's always tough. I hope I'm wrong, but I think Texas Southern gets it. And FAMU at Alcorn. Alcorn's at home. Strange things happen at Whitney Arena. Can FAMU get it done?
Yeah, Charlie Ward, his first time going on the reservation. Now he gonna lose that because logistics gonna get him.
He get ready to get schooled. Schooled on the reservation.
Logistics gonna get him on that one.
You get ready to get scalped on the reservation, Carlos.
I'm gonna go with my gut. My gut says I'm gonna pick FAMU. I think they go in and Charlie Ward gets one of those badges. First time coming there, he gets his war badge.
Okay.
He goes in and gets it done. Now, if it's a close game, I don't know. Strange things that happen with the arena.
Yeah. But now that's on Monday. But look, Carlos, let me ask you today: do you think FAMU gonna beat Jackson?
They'll get a split on the road. I think Jackson wins at home.
Oh, they'll get a split on the road. Well, what about Bethune men at Alcorn today?
I think Bethune gets it.
What about you, Wheeler?
I think Bethune.
Yep, I'm going with Bethune also. And then in Montgomery, Alabama State playing host to Pine Bluff. That's going to be a good game.
I'm going with the home team.
Who's the home team? Pine Bluff?
No, Alabama State.
Alabama State.
Alabama State.
All right. Now, in Houston, Texas Southern going to host Grambling. Who got that one?
Texas Southern.
Texas Southern.
I agree with you on that. Now, your Jaguars out at Prairie View this afternoon. I already know. You got the Jaguars all the way. I'm with the Jaguars too.
I am too.
I think Jaguars will take care of Prairie View. All right. Nope. And now
the big
here
payback.
All right.
The big payback, Coach. Coach
Gotcha.
Redaway.
Gotcha. All right. Now, Valley comes in here today for A&M. Who you got?
A&M.
A&M.
Right.
Although I think Alabama A&M best days are ahead under the first year coach.
Yeah. I agree. And George Ivory, he's still looking for that first one, but I don't think he's gonna get it today.
But the game of the week, in your opinion, today, Saturday on the men's side.
I would just say to me it's gonna be Bethune and Alcorn. Bethune get a big test at a logistically tough place to play.
Yeah, Charles said, he's on a roll.
He said Alcorn don't get him.
You wonder if Reggie Theus the word gets to him on that.
And if you do that, that means Pine Bluff will be up right on their heels, man. If Alcorn can pull that off, Pine Bluff will be right on their heels.
I just think we go back to what we said a couple of weeks ago. I think it's still going to come down to the last week.
Oh, it is. I agree. I think so.
I mean, there's a big, if we can say it that way, there's a big gap on the men's side, at least for between 1 and 2. But 2, 3, and 4, I think it's just going to be a brutal battle.
Right. Yep.
Seating purpose, and also on the women's side.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Carlos. Because when you look at it, A&M, Florida A&M, Jackson State, they all 6-5. Your Jaguars are 7-4. Everybody's bunched up right there together. It's going to change week to week.
Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks from now, it'll be different. Next week. And the recipe is still there. Split on the road, win your games at home. Although some teams, as you guys brought up last week, some have lost 2 home games. So they got to make that up somewhere down the line.
They got to sweep.
Yep.
They got to come up with some sweeps somewhere.
Yep.
So I know Southern is one. Who's the other team that's lost at home that needs to make up some ground?
Well, on the men's side, Florida A&M lost at home. They got to sweep somewhere.
Southern women at home.
Oh yeah, that's true.
On the women's side, they've lost. So yeah, the pressure's still on. The pressure's still on. Let's see. In the chat room, we appreciate everybody in chat room. Yeah, I'm still trying to get Thursday. It's women only,
right? Except Saturday, for that last week. Now, last week it's gonna be double headers.
Right. Saturdays is a double header.
Correct.
Monday, men only.
Correct.
I'm gonna have to drill that into my head.
Yeah. And then see, like for me, I got about 2 minutes left before I got to get out there.
Well, on that note, we've got 2 minutes left. We can go ahead and end the show. The work is complete.
What I'm saying is, see, I have to be out there they want you there an hour before tip off. I think this is going to be a big weekend for the Lady Bulldogs to see if they're going to avenge their only loss of the season. Then we're going to see if your Jaguars can win, bounce back, and win on the road. So those are 2 big things that we'll be looking at, Carlos.
And then next week is a rivalry.
Yep.
Southern and Grambling State. Also, let me say this. I put in a request to get Coach Falk. He has his own media team. I went to the proper channels and I haven't heard anything back. And I put in to have him on this Saturday. I know he's a busy man. I've also put on request for assistant coaches. I'll have an update when that interview will take place.
Well,
Because-
somebody needs to tell Coach Falk. This is the Carlos Brown.
Thank
show.
you. Thank you.
And if he wants to be a player in Baton Rouge, it behooves him to get on the Carlos Brown show. To talk about Southern football.
Right. Tony Clayton.
If he wants to endear himself to the masses, he need to get his behind on the Carlos Brown show. That's all I got to say.
And we need our friend Tony Clayton to relay that message. Carlos Brown show. Let's go, man. Get it going. But Carlos, I'll see you guys. Down. Hey, I'll see you guys next week, man.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, man. Coach.
Have a great broadcast. Thank everyone in the chat room. Brian Fulford, outstanding job. Until next Saturday at 11 a.m. for another edition of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Until next time, peace and God bless. Come back, Tony. I got a special request. Peace.